March Madness has begun. The Tar Heels are dancing and winter sports are coming to a close. The best month for Carolina athletics is upon us and we are covering it all. Live from Curtis Media Center.
From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
March Madness is officially here. Charlie, be honest, how's your bracket looking?
Lee, I wish I could tell you I'm still hanging on after the first 24 hours, but truth be told, I'm toast. If I'd given my dog my laptop to fill out a bracket, he probably would have been more accurate than me. How about you?
Cinderella is not my favorite princess, but when it comes to March, I'm always pulling for the underdogs. So I'm really excited to see what upsets are in store as the tournament progresses. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Lee Jeffries.
And I'm Charlie Costal. We're all still riding high after the Tar Heels beatdown of San Diego State on Tuesday. But there's plenty more to be excited about during the best month in sports. March Madness is coming to Chapel Hill tomorrow with the 3-seeded women's basketball team hosting 14-seed Oregon State. Oregon State guard Katarina Ferreira proved herself in the West Coast Conference tournament, racking up a total of 54 points and 28 rebounds in 3 games, helping her team to a conference championship. Oregon State is a defensive team that brings discipline, often reducing the shooting percentage of their opponents. Tar Heels Renaya Kelly and Lexi Donarski will have to get creative on offense to break through Oregon State's defense while also shutting down Ferreira. Seniors Alyssa Utsby and Maria Gokdang look to continue their dominance in the paint to advance the team to the round of 32. For more on the upcoming matchup right here on Tar Heel soil, reporter Ashley Humphrey is live from Carmichael Arena, where UNC is hosting for the first time in 10 years. Ashley, what's going on out there?
Yeah, Charlie, there's not much going on right now, but all of that's going to change when UNC plays tomorrow at 4:30. And if you're a fan looking to get involved, it's your lucky day because the first 500 students get in for free. All you have to do is line up right here off of South Road. You can use the student entrance behind me. They say those doors will open at 1, which means you can also catch the first round matchup between West Virginia and Columbia. Fans, this is a great opportunity to pack the house and cheer on the Heels for what hopefully is the first game of a long tournament run. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ashley. We'll be sure to cheer on the Heels this weekend.
Now the Tar Heels are locked in for a round of 64 battle facing Ole Miss this afternoon. To beat the 6-seeded Rebels, the Tar Heels need to focus on perimeter defending and maintaining offensive momentum. Senior guard Sean Padula leads Rebels with 14.9 points per game and shoots 38% from behind the arc. With aggressive defense and backcourt pressure, the Tar Heels hope to be able to limit scoring from the Rebels and secure a ticket to round 2. With another exciting slate of games today, Charlie joins our sports betting expert Dylan Stalter to talk today's best picks.
Thanks, Lee. It's the first round of March Madness, which is definitely on my Mount Rushmore of sports betting weekends.
The most wonderful time of the year, Charlie.
Like Christmas morning, some might say, as long as you bet right. So, Dylan, where should we be responsibly spending our money this weekend?
Well, Charlie, we love pulling for the home team, so we're going to start things off with UNC to cover against Ole Miss. 2-point favorites as an 11 seed. If Tuesday taught us anything, it's that this Tar Heel squad has something to prove. The new and improved starting lineup has propelled Carolina to one of the nation's most efficient offenses down the stretch. With the Rebels losing 5 of their last 8 games, this Tar Heel squad is going to be tough to stop.
Yeah, I agree, Dylan. I think if they can keep the fire burning from Tuesday, they just have too many weapons for Ole Miss to be able to stop. So what's pick number 2?
Staying on the upset theme, we're going to roll with 10-seeded New Mexico to cover against Marquette. Charlie, the more I look at it, the more I love this matchup for the Lobos.
Why is that?
Because of a guy named Donovan Dent, averaging 25 points in his past 6 games. While neither team boasts impressive shooting numbers, the Lobos hold the size advantage, and they're going to look to exploit matchups inside the arc. Marquette has dropped 3 of their last 4 games, and they've been relying on Cam Jones to find offensive success.
I can't argue with that. So what's pick number 3?
We're going to be backing another elite guard with Oklahoma's Jeremiah Fears to score 20 points against UConn. The guard has scored 28 or more in 3 of his last 4 games. He can get to the rim, get to the line, and March is the time for guards to shine.
I'm sure the Husky defense is going to fear him tonight. Have fun, and as always,
please gamble responsibly.
While March Madness might be stealing the spotlight, it's not the only NCAA competition heating up. Let's take a look at how other Tar Heel teams are competing on the national stage. 8 Tar Heels hit the mats yesterday morning as they begin their quest for a national title at the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships. 3 Tar Heels entered the tournament with top 15 seeds led by Lachlan McNeil at number 6 in the 149-pound weight class. Ethan Oakley follows as the number 12 seed at 133 pounds, while Spencer Moore locks in the number 14 spot at 125 pounds. With a 9-6 record and a number 16 ranking heading into the championships, Carolina remains a strong contender to bring home some hardware to Chapel Hill.
The Tar Heel women's swim and dive team sent 14 competitors to the NCAA championships this weekend, aiming to outdo last year's 17th place finish. 8 of the 14 are making their first appearance in the championship. The 200 medley relay squad secured a 16th place finish, and the 800 freestyle relay team got in on the action as well, notching a 20th place finish. NCAA competition continued with the fencing tournament kicking off yesterday. UNC's Braden Gior placed 11th on day 1 of Epee. Peter Brook finished 10th in foil and secured the win against an All-American from Columbia. UNC's Eldon Wood had a notable win against an All-American from Princeton in saber. The Tar Heels continue to fight for the NCAA championship until Sunday. Lee, there has been a lot of NCAA action this week, from prelims to tournaments to championships. It seems like every team is fighting for their spot at the top.
That's exactly right, Charlie. It's been a whirlwind of a week already, but it does not stop there. After a strong start to their season filled with lots of success, UNC's gymnasts are ready to take on their next challenge. Starting tomorrow night, UNC Gymnastics will flip into the ACC Gymnastics Tournament. The 4th-seeded Tar Heels will face number 1 seed Cal, number 2 Stanford, and number 3 NC State. Led by senior superstar Julia Noer, the teen lineup is stacked and momentum is on their side. After having their best team score last week, the Heels are headed to Greensboro, hoping to win their first ACC title. Let's take it to Chalk Talk with Kate McCullough to see how this team is prepping.
Lee, the team is gearing up for this colossal quad meet. They're going up against the toughest competition this season. To recap, we've gone up against NC State twice now, and we're defeated both times. On the balance beam was where we had the most significant point gap. So let's take a look here at Gwen Fink's routine at our last meet against State. She's going to do a triple series here, a back handspring, back layout, back layout. She couldn't quite get her standing here on this last layout, causing her to fall off the beam. Mess-ups like this can't happen going into the championship, but what makes a Tar Heel is how she picks herself right back up and gets back on that beam and finishes the routine strong. Let's skip ahead to her dismount here. She's going to do a back handspring, back full. She has a slight hop, but still sticks the landing, the mark of a true Tar Heel. Let's take a look at our biggest competitor, number 1 seeded Cal. We've had 1 quad meet with them this season. Again, our largest point gap being on beam against them. Averaging a 9.9 on beam is Cal's Maya Lazan. Let's watch her dismount here. She's going to do a round off double twist, an extremely impressive skill here. This is exactly what we are looking out for. And a stick like that is exactly what Carolina needs to stay in the competition. I spoke with gymnasts Bella Miller and Molly Neinstein yesterday. The team is shutting out the overwhelming environment going into this quad meet and focusing purely on what they can do for themselves and for each other. Their mindset is to attack with a calm and confident energy. I'm excited to see what our heels can do. From gymnastics to dance, UNC has it all. There are many options offered for all students to get active. Marilee, too, went to the Student Recreation Center and explored one of the many group fitness classes offered at UNC.
UNC Campus Recreation serves Tar Heels with a variety of fitness opportunities across campus. From rock climbing to Pilates, there are many innovative ways to get Tar Heels moving, including the group fitness classes offered at the SRC and Fetzer Gym.
Here at the SRC, the hub for all things fitness here at Carolina, former UNC cheerleader and senior Sydney Mudd hosts a cardio dance class, providing a fun and innovative way for Tar Heels to get on their heels.
I choreograph dances that has to be 45 minutes worth. I pick the songs, I take the choreography throughout the week. I make sure I'm saying the instructions in the beginning, such as I have to make sure to remind people to drink lots of water,
Along with promoting fitness, Sydney hopes to promote confidence among her participants as well.
This is a really important part in just overall health, overall well-being, and having these kind of classes accessible, I feel like makes people more likely to come, really put effort into their well-being.
Sydney's dedication to her class and fitness is reflected by having regular each week.
I love Sydney's energy. She always makes me feel better, and it makes me feel like I've accomplished something.
Yeah.
Check out cardio, dance, and all the other group exercise classes here at the SRC. I'm Marilee 2 reporting.
Well, just watching that made me exhausted, so I think it's time for a short break. But don't worry, we have plenty more to bring you. From the Diamond Heels to the unstoppable women's lacrosse team, we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Sports Extra. Charlie, the sun is shining this week. Do you know what that means?
I do, Lee. It means it's time for baseball. Our Diamond Heels, once 13-0, returned to the Bosch on Wednesday afternoon, ready to face off against the visiting Yukon Huskies. To start off the game, Kane Kepley stepped up to the plate and absolutely slammed one out of the park over the right field wall, putting the Tar Heels ahead 1-0. The Huskies fought back, and after good defense, the Heels were unable to get on the bases, leaving them scoreless for 6 innings as the Huskies continued to rack up the runs. The Heels started to lock down on defense with bases loaded when Luke Stevenson threw it to second and gets it right back to get the Huskies out at home, ending the inning. The Heels lost for the 5th time in the past 9 games, 5-1. Carolina now travels up north to take on Boston College in a series this weekend. If the Heels expect to win in Boston, improving on the defensive end is a must, as errors or misplays led to their past 2 losses when they were outscored 10-1. Alex Madera, however, has been a silver lining for the Tar Heels, flaunting a fielding percentage of 98.6 and committing only 1 error this season. Hunter Stokely has been another defensive anchor for the team, racking up 162 putouts, 154 assists, and a fielding percentage of 98.8. To have the best chance of success this weekend, the Heels will need to bring their A game.
Now it's time for some Tar Heel trivia. UNC baseball has 8 ACC titles to their name, but in what year did the Diamond Heels win their first ACC championship? The 4 choices are on the board, and we'll be back with the correct answer at the end of the show.
Over at Anderson Stadium, the softball Heels took on Liberty University at home on Wednesday in a back-and-forth barn burner. Liberty came out with a bang in the 2nd inning, scoring the first run. The Heels came right back with an absolute bomb home run from Carly Myrtle. Liberty hit an RBI ground out, bringing in a 2nd run. The Heels loaded the bases but were unable to bring in any more runs. The Flames scored another run in the 7th, making the final score 3-1 Liberty. Coming off of that tough loss, UNC softball is fired up and ready to hit the fields this weekend. UNC softball takes the field tonight for an ACC showdown against the Louisville Cardinals, kicking off their 3-game weekend series. The Heels are coming off back-to-back losses, their first losing streak of the season. The Heels must use their strong pitching and their ability to capitalize on scoring opportunities to win tonight and stay strong for the weekend. Carly Myrtle has led the offense with a batting average of .368, contributing 28 hits in 76 at-bats.
Carolina women's lacrosse came out strong against Virginia Tech. Olivia Vergano was unstoppable, slicing through the defense and finding the net 5 times. The sophomore attacker's precision and speed kept the Hokies on their heels all game. Chloe Humphrey matched the energy, also scoring 5 goals and proving why UNC's offense is one of the most dangerous in the ACC, delivering a statement 21-9 victory. It's now time to head over to Ground Balls with Gray to learn more about the Heels' incredible win over the Hokies. Sophia.
Thanks, Lee. Carolina has faced one of, if not the toughest schedule in the country, but their defense remains dominant, holding opponents to an average of just 5 goals per game. But Virginia Tech came out firing yesterday, putting pressure on North Carolina early. After a few defensive breakdowns, the Heels found themselves trailing 3-1 in the first quarter, which yes, isn't a huge deficit, but they haven't yet been put in this position all season. So the question quickly became, how would they respond? Their answer, 3 straight goals in just 90 seconds. Olivia Vergano is going to start the momentum for Carolina. We can see her here at the top of the 12. She's going to approach her defender, stutter step, switch to her non-dominant hand, and fire a bullet into the top right corner. Her teammate Chloe is going to tie up the game for Carolina. Now, on a free position, Chloe typically just takes 1 shot and fires it, but we can see from her stance that she's going to run in, dodging under her defender and popping the ball in the back of the net. And just seconds later, her sister Ashley is going to give Carolina the first lead of the game, curling around the crease and firing the shot into the back of the net. Ultimately, UNC kept their undefeated all-time head-to-head record and season against Virginia Tech, winning by 12. This game showed that even in the face of early adversity, UNC can respond.
Sophia, with an undefeated record on the line, how do you think the Tar Heels will handle their 3rd top 5 matchup next week against Northwestern?
Northwestern will be a tough test, especially because it's on the road, but the Heels have handled every challenge thrown at them. So if the Tar Heels stay composed and execute, I think they have a strong shot at staying undefeated.
Thanks, Sophia.
After a dominant win against Jacksonville, UNC men's lacrosse is locked and loaded as they head to High Point for another in-state showdown. Sophomore Owen Duffy continues to shine as an offensive weapon, while freshman Chase Salucci has already made a huge impact on the team, having 11 calls to turnovers and 13 ground balls on the season. UNC is ready to keep the momentum going, but can they stay hot on the road? Find out tonight. The face-off is set for 7 o'clock at High Point.
With so much talent on both the men's and women's teams, do you think it's safe to say that UNC is now a lacrosse school?
I think it could be. It's not too often that both teams are ranked in the top 5, the women's currently being number 2 and the men currently being number 4. And with such generational talent like Owen Duffy and the Humphrey sisters, I think we could be setting ourselves up for national championship contention.
You know, with the women's undefeated season, I could definitely see that playing out. And then on the other side of things, moving to men's tennis, they will face off against Boston College today at 3 p.m. and SMU on Sunday at noon. The team needs to bring their A game against the Eagles and the Ponies to make up for losses against Clemson and Georgia Tech this past weekend. The last time these two teams faced off in the March of 2024 ended in Tar Heel wins 7-0. Fans hope the home field advantage might bring back some spark to the Carolina team.
Before facing their rival in red down the road, the women's tennis team will take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. The 4th-ranked Tar Heels have come out swinging this season, sweeping conference opponents like Georgia Tech and Clemson. But they'll have to show out this weekend as they encounter 2 more ACC competitors. Demon Deacons junior Navina Carton earned ACC Player of the Week honors after notching 2 top 30 wins in back-to-back matches before spring break. Carolina looks to improve on a 4-0 conference record at home tonight. As spring sports continue to succeed, fall sports begin to prepare for August. UNC's volleyball team takes on Duke and NC State in a tri-match later today. The tournament will take place in Morrisville at Triangle Volleyball Club. Carolina has added some new faces to the roster, and after their last spring match against Appalachian State ended in a 5-set nail-biter, the Heels are sure to come out hot against both rivals from down the road.
Back to Tar Heel trivia, it's time to reveal the answer. The Tar Heel baseball team won their first ACC championship in the year 1960. Thanks for playing.
Reporter May Proctor caught up with the UNC Skateboarding Club to find out what makes skating at UNC so special.
To become a great skateboarder, you need incredible balance, grit, style, and a community like the UNC Skate Club to pick you up when you fall.
I started skating when I lived in New Jersey in like 4th grade. And then I had a friend whose name is Tori, like my childhood best friend. And we'd like skate to school, and like since then I just like never stopped. I think like a big part of skate culture is like the community sense. Like skateboarding is for everybody, so I feel like skate club is like a really like accepting community.
Nah, I've never skated before I got to college. Never touched a board before in my life, so I did. And Odell, he saw me on the board one day throughout campus. And he like stopped me and was like, "I'm a part of skate club. You should come join us." So I did. It's definitely a sport, and it's definitely an art too. Cause it's something you have to work at, and it's something that not everybody can pick up right away, and it's something you have to learn.
If you keep your shoulders straight, it'll prevent that like turning your body kind of thing. Yeah.
And then once you learn it, you're able to put your own style on it. You're able to add your own twist, and that's kind of where the art form comes in.
At its heart, skateboarding is about more than just raw athleticism. It's about style, art, and most importantly, community. I'm May Proctor reporting.
UNC Skate Club is always down by the pit, ready to help you step on a board for the first time or even perfect a crazy trick. Now it's everyone's favorite time of the day. That's right, it's time to announce this week's winner for Play of the Week. And the winner is none other than the pride of the women's lacrosse team, Chloe Humphrey. She hit a ridiculous behind-the-back goal to the top left against Clemson last weekend to contribute to their crushing 18-5 victory.
I'll tell you what, Lee, you really know you have some serious talent on your hands when plays like that one look as easy as it did.
I couldn't agree with that more, Charlie. The skill and style they demonstrated last weekend and last night, I think they could be in contention for a national championship.
Let's not jinx it, but I think you could definitely be right. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll be back on Monday with all of the highlights of another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.